History has never struggled to name a terrorist state. It does not depend on who the United States calls enemy or ally. It's written in deeds. A terrorist state rules by fear. It bombs hospitals and schools and calls them legitimate targets. It cuts off food and water to millions and calls it security. It imprisons children for throwing stones. It demolishes homes and plants flags on the rubble. It desecrates holy places and calls it defense. That is terrorism. That's the definition. We know this because we've seen it before. And in the shadows of Auschwitz and Sobibor, Jewish resistance fighters rose from within the jaws of death. They smuggled weapons, lit fires, fought with everything they had left. They knew they would not survive. They fought because resistance itself was the last act of humanity. And history has never called them terrorists. History calls them righteous. So why, when Palestinians rise against decades of occupation, are they branded terrorists? Why is violent resistance to violent oppression holy in one story and savage in another? The answer is not the act itself. The answer is in who controls the narrative. Because long before October 7th, there was already war. Gaza had been under blockade since 2007. 2 million people trapped in what the UN called an open-air prison. 95% of the water undrinkable. Hospitals starved of medicine. Cancer patients turned back at checkpoints. Electricity rationed to 4 or 6 hours a day. In the West Bank, families expelled from Sheikh Jarrah so settlers could take their homes. In East Jerusalem, armed raids in the night. In Al-Aqsa, soldiers storming the mosque, beating worshippers during Ramadan. And the UN reports lay it bare. Extrajudicial killings, children shot for throwing rocks, pregnant women forced to give birth at checkpoints, settler mobs attacking villages under the protection of the IDF, the use of collective punishment against entire neighborhoods, the use of white phosphorus in civilian areas, the targeting of journalists, names, dates, faces, all of them cataloged. The deliberate destruction of civilian infrastructure, bakeries, water treatment plants, sewage facilities, the weaponization of starvation, bread lines bombed, aid convoys struck, trucks turned away until flour itself became contraband. This is life under occupation. This is terror. So when October 7th came, it was not from a void. It was the inevitable eruption of a people denied breath. To acknowledge that is not to glorify death. It is to state the truth. History is always recognized. Occupation breeds resistance, and violent resistance to violent oppression is not terrorism. It is the cry of humanity refusing erasure. Norman Finkelstein has said this plainly. He is the son of Holocaust survivors. He knows what the word genocide means. He has laid bare with the UN's own record what Israel has done, and every humanitarian body with integrity has joined him. Amnesty International, Human Rights Watch, the UN Human Rights Council, Doctors Without Borders, they do not mince words. Gaza is a genocide, Gaza is ethnic cleansing, and is being carried out in real time. And still Israel refuses ceasefire. Still it broadens its fire. Lebanon, Syria, Iraq, Yemen, Iran. Still it answers every plea with rubble. And still the United States arms the hand that strikes, vetoes every measure of restraint, signs its name to every atrocity. But the world is watching. Latin America, Africa, Europe, Asia, nations step forward to recognize Palestine not as charity but as declaration. Palestine exists. It will not be erased. If you disagree, you can go verify it, but don't come back with cheap bullshit. Bring receipts. Read the UN Office for the Coordination of Humanitarian Affairs situation reports. Read the UN Human Rights Council findings. Read Amnesty and Human Rights Watch investigations. Read Doctors Without Borders dispatches from the wards where they count the torn bodies by hand, then come back. And if you still disagree, bring your citations. Not outrage. Bring evidence, not rage theology. Meanwhile, America clings to its ally like a drowning man to a stone. All the while, BRICS rises, NATO hedges, the dollar falters, tariffs and sanctions drive the world to new currencies, new supply chains. Every bomb dropped on Gaza is another nail in the coffin of American influence. Our power wanes with every strike. Our credibility is buried in the rubble of Rafah. We are not in danger of complicity. We are immersed in it. And history will not call us liberators. It will not remember our speeches about freedom or democracy. It will remember our vetoes, our weapons, and our silence. History will remember. It will remember the Jewish resistance fighters who rose in the camps, and it will remember the Palestinians who rose in Gaza. Nablus, Jenin. Both faced extinction. Both chose defiance. Both declare that humanity will not kneel. One is celebrated, the other condemned, but history will strip the lie bare. And this is not opinion. This is record. This is witness. This is testimony written in rubble and in blood. Name the guilty. The United States, Israel, and every state that armed, excused, and enabled it. We are not at risk of the wrong side of history here. We are already there. The verdict is written, the sentence is eternal, and silence will not save us. And what we refuse to face will one day speak our names out loud. Defiance till death.